All right, we are live. I'm very happy to introduce to you guys Rostislav. You already have seen them on the first day of the Berlin Bootcamp. Rostislav is CBO at Ton Apps, and he's the best person to talk about Ton API and his cheated Ton API at every bootcamp that we run, and I really love that. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you so much for mentoring the participants, and please go ahead with your talk about on API check, which I think is the most interesting part for all the participants.
Hello, everyone, and thanks Helen, for this introduction. So I want to say thanks for all of you, for your presence here, and especially for our magical persons from Ton Society, because their efforts is the real impactful source of possible leap between the gap which dividing Web 2 and Web 3. And right now we can see that in biggest European capitals, these persons, Helen, Alanis, and a lot of people behind the scenes constructing new future, because you presented here like potential founders of new projects on the Ton blockchain can create real future. And this is not only smart words to motivate you, because right now we can see really exceptional growth of our ecosystem. And one of the flagmans of this growth is Ton Apps. Ton Apps is our company. So, sorry, it's finished. Yes, Ton Apps is our company, and here you can see some preview of information. This first slide. Yes. Our reason to be here, it's Hackathon. Hackathon is online and offline events, and I think online events is most flexible form, because you can participate, you can win, you can get some prizes and cash. And here you can see 3 strings with our value proposal. Most important string below is almost invisible. And to achieve this opportunity to be presented in Ton Apps products, because right now Ton Apps products exceeding number of 70 million active users. And biggest value which we can give you, it's our traffic. Because in this moment, our traffic is most quality traffic in all the industry, in all the ecosystem. In TonKeeper, biggest non-custodial wallet in the Ton ecosystem, we can put some of your projects, and you will receive highest conversion rate ever. And for instance, some of applications placed into TonKeeper showing conversion rate more than 3% or 2.5%. This is conversion rate from clicks to successful purchases. And I was in May, I think, in Prague, and we meet with Alexander, which very active here and every time make a lot of questions. And I'm happy to see that in Prague, a few months ago, Alexander started like a highly experienced senior developer in Web 2 with 10 years of background. And right now, we are considering option to place his project in TonKeeper. This is not a marketing, this success story that few months and you can be our partner. Some points with like with star, points with star, like 10 years of maybe more classical financial technologies development. But young guys without experience also can create great performance in Ton scope. We also have these examples. For instance, some of our teammates, they started in TonKeeper Ton Apps team in 19, 18, or 20 years old. With a few years of experience, when they started like teenagers, like developers, They don't choose the way to go to the university every day and listen uh, professional teachers. They started development in like teenagers, and right now they're working in impactful company. This is possible. So I'm not a marketer of way to go out of the university, but and here you can see motivation. And I hope it can be enough for you to understand what we can be a real multiplier of your result. You go to us with valuable product, with useful product, with or like 100 users, including your family and your friends. And in a few months, you can have like 10,000 or 100,000 active users, and you can go to investors with traction. We are a source of traction, and this is very important. Here you can see how this traction is generated in terms of user experience. Here you can see Tonekeeper browser presented in different devices, Tonekeeper mobile, extension for most popular browser, desktop, and Tonekeeper web. Why is the same? Maybe it looks boring, but this works pretty well in terms of product metrics because it's generating really sustainable user habits. And every device user can go make the same action, uh, connect a wallet to your dApp, and next make any actions like swap for DeFi products or uh, put funds in lending in products like EVA. Also, guys from EVA here, and I'm happy to see you. Because currently in browser, you can see some sources of inspiration, sources of best practices for your products. But our distribution of partners is not a restriction for you. You can see your own opportunity and create your own dApp. Because in my opinion, right now covered only like 1 or 2% of possible value for users, because our goal to make Ton like ecosystem, don't only sharing tokens like initial value for projects, but only creating sustainable user behavior models, models of everyday interaction with product, like a source of problem solution. And right now in our browser presented some popular products with very ecological approach to interaction with users. This is VPN services, this is like stores providing different gift cards and also games, very popular among our users. And also few weeks ago, we created one more way to interact with our users through the Ton Viewer. Ton Viewer is one of the most popular blockchain explorers for Ton, where you can see some information about the transactions, about state of your wallet, and also we created the list of dApps. And your project also can be presented here if this project will satisfy our requirements and will be helpful for users. Here you can see some current projects like DEXs, DeFi, and wallets and tokens, and also NFTs. It's very great because this allows to increase engagement in our product and meet your products and user attention in one place which can be a source of high trust, because we are definitely strict in our approach to choose projects which can be placed in our browser and on viewer, because we don't promoting any kind of token sales. We don't proposing to buy something for users, and this is a reason why user can trust for us. And unfortunately, I think year by year this compliance will be more strict due to our growth, and when we are facing with new challenges like regulation or other. For us, this opportunity to be more transparent, and we don't orient it in the short-term generation of revenue. We're trying to create sustainable supply chains and make from the Ton blockchain way to pay for everyday user needs. Right now, it's only small roots of the future big tree of our everyday usage. But we are trying to create this, and we see that users appreciating. And next slide, you can see hackathon rewards. It's not so much, but it can be very usable to start your project, and you can receive different things like cash, a ton API credits, which allows cover your costs during the initial development and launch, and this can cover your costs for ton API interactions when you are scaling from like one user from scratch up to like 20 or 30 or 50K users per month. And also you received on keeper messages, which was yesterday mentioned by my teammate Sergei, which allows to interact with users authorized with Ton Connect in your app, and also mentorship, because mentorship, we are helping for all the projects who are trying to integrate in the ecosystem, but special attention can be like impactful bonus for all the participants of Hackathon and winners of Hackathon, because we are really can help doing integration of some technologies and also with sharing of best practices of our current partners and choosing the best product market fit using our knowledge in metrics and our knowledge in user behavior models, because our main idea that users can generate sustainable patterns of behavior, and during the development we should use these patterns of behavior to increase level of conversion rate from acquisition to successful revenue and successful activity of user in browser and on viewer, and next to retention and return of this user. And you can return these users and reactivate them with keeper messages. And next, I think you already understand these requirements, and it was also mentioned yesterday how does it works in terms of user interface and from technical side. This is Ton Connect authorization, easy to use, huge code base, and very transparent because you can observe all the code in the GitHub, and it's not any kind of payload or backdoors which allows to create something unintended in your app. And Ton API is a reason why we are providing your help, because we interested to increase our audience of developers. It's right now 5K developers. But one important point, 5K developers is people who are using Ton API to make money on their projects currently. This is guys from OKX, from Binance, from other impactful projects, and also from Telegram who are using Ton API. And it's really great that we are popular. And at this moment, Ton API is project presented in this website. You can find on this QR code, but you can try it in Ton Console. Ton Console is sometimes tricky, but Ton Console is like user interface to interact with our different infrastructure products and also with Ton API. Because right now we are providing really versatile set of tools to make your work with Ton blockchain insanely easy. You can check messages in mempool. You can use different analytical services. Also, you can use tool to create from your wallet or your financial app application using gasless contract. And all these set bunch of features for different purposes presented on Ton Console. And at this moment, a number of users registered in Ton Console exceeding 50K. And this is big challenge for us, and we understand that if we can satisfy big part of these users, we can scale this user base, and we can become one of the biggest infrastructure providers in the industry. And this very big responsibility for us, and this inspiring us to create new features. And here you can see the example created by our team, especially for this hackathon. You can use this code like source of inspiration and like best practice. And also to minimize number of the friction during communication in the hackathon, you can find here option to create pull request or issue for with this repository. And if you are familiar with GitHub, you can request something or you can try to modify the app on your own sandbox, launch it. And if you will collide with some problems, you can send messages in this GitHub repository and our developers can respond to you and help you in launch of your projects. Because this dApp was created to help you in the hackathon onboarding. And also here you can find a chat and Telegram. You can scan this and participate in chat. In this chat right now presented link for this GitHub repository, link for survey, where you can already add your project, because I think time of the sending of your project to our hackathon track is until the middle November, so you have enough time to create something using this dApp example. Maybe you can add something new, and this will be only like for scratch in your future dApp. And here you can send your uh, questions and chat with our developers and also with me. And also you can find me using this QR code on Telegram. So thanks for your participants, and I hope this hackathon will be really easy and impactful door to the shining world of the Ton blockchain, and also of Ton API and Ton app solutions, because we're trying to simplify your work and your building on Ton blockchain. And uh, to simplify this work right now and onboard you in our current solutions and in best practices on Ton blockchain by best developers, I want to share this microphone with my teammate, Sergei Andreev, and he prepared really great uh, live coding lesson. I didn't see it yet, and I also will be interested and involved with us this experience, because Sergey is developer of Ton Connect and a highly experienced blockchain developer. And after this live coding session, you can ask him. And this is a really great opportunity to understand your technological stack for launch your dApp, or maybe ask some tricky questions. And I should give my micro to Helen or Sergey, I think. Thanks. Yeah, yes. Yes, I'm ready to ask.
One question. On the reward page, there
Mhm.
was something called
Mhm.
3000 ton API. What it is about?
Yes, it's a good question. So it's balance of Ton API, which can be used for payment for different purposes, like Tonkeeper messages. And main purpose for this, these credits working like a special gift code, which you can activate on Ton console and replenish your balance on Ton API. And don't pay for Ton API in Ton, like currently you can make this, but use different tariffs to interact with Ton blockchain with high parameters like request per second and number of mutual connections in the same time. And this allows make this start very easy, start for free, and don't make any costs during the launch of project, because for starting projects, every $100 is impactful, and that much more um, uh, important that every 100 of ton impactful. And we interested to provide onboarding and I think if you have any other questions, I can answer. Yes.
You told about this 5,000 people are generating revenue. So is there some data like where we can see the analytics, how many users are using your API and all these things?
Are you about users like developers in business or users like customers?
Everything.
So about customers, I think it's a good idea. I think we should make this because it's insane numbers. Right now, our API used by like hundreds of millions users monthly, and this is very popular product. And in terms of the paying customers, like businesses and developers paying for us, it's like, I think it's maybe 4K from this 5K, something like this, 80%. Yes?
In the reward section, what is meant by Tonekeeper messages?
Yes, it's Tonekeeper messages. You was yesterday in presentation?
No,
Understood. Yes, Tonekeeper messages is function and feature accessible through the Tone console. And using this feature without any knowledge in programming, you can interact with Tonekeeper users using your dApp. In Tone console, you can find graphical interface where you can send some messages for users authorized in your dApp through Tonekeeper. This works in a really decentralized manner, so we don't make any kind of moderation or control over these messages. But this can be made for only this audience already engaged by your dApp. So this works like not source of user acquisition, but source of reactivation of users, and average metrics which showed by Tonekeeper messages. Its growth in 3 times in daily active users metric after the sending, and growth in 2 times in revenue metric. And this is very great tool which already used by more than 30 our current partners, and usage of this tool is not so popular right now. It's not hundreds of projects, and it's a great opportunity for you to use this tool and be more engaged by your users, be more interesting for users, because it's also very trustful way to communicate, because this message looks like message from your app but sent by Tonekeeper wallet. And after click on this message, user will be redirected in the customized link, which you also can add in the Tone console. But this is only a link in the same domain like your Tone Connect manifest. This is made to avoid any kind of malicious redirect, which can be used by some hackers. You can only use the same domain, but another directory, which can be very flexible during different marketing campaigns, because in this messaging, you can also use customized list of wallets and, for instance, divide your user base on the whales, newbies, and experienced users, and make different call to actions and different pages to redirect for them with different like marketing events or call to actions, providing for them customized user experience. And this is one of the cases used by some of projects which works with us, and it works really great and it's accessible for everyone. It's no need to make any kind of approval from our side to use this tool. Thanks. So I'm happy to give micro to my mates. Thanks.
Well, Sergei doesn't need the
Работает? Окей.
Sergei doesn't need the introduction because you already know Sergei from the yesterday's talk. I'm just gonna say that Sergei is gonna do the live coding workshop here, which I think is something that developers definitely are interested to see. And well, go ahead with your talk. And for everyone that's sitting on the last rows, please come closer here so you can see the screen.
Hi everyone, hope you can hear me. Nice to see you again. Today I'm going to demonstrate you practically how is it to create a simple dApp on Tone using some of technologies that I mentioned previously yesterday. So let's start from. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Let's start from scratch. I created the empty directory and opened it in my IDE. So I would create the simple React app and demonstrate you how to integrate the Tone Connect and Tone Keeper into it, how to manage user jetons and the user NFTs if I had enough time in the end. So let's create a simple React app. However, you can use the same for any other front-end frameworks or even on the backend side. And in the end, I will share with you the step-by-step guide written on the Tone Console platform, where you can do the same steps yourself and get the similar result. So let's start. I'll create the React app using Vite and install all the dependencies. Okay, I have an empty project now. So let's see. This is an empty template, and I'm going to remove all things that I don't need. Here, some styles. Okay, it's good now. And remove some unnecessary styles here. Okay, now we are ready to add the Tone Connect to the app. For that, I'm going to install Tone Connect UI client. And the adapter for the React app. So to add the Tone Connect to our application, we need to provide the Tone Connect UI provider. Add it here. And the only thing I need to configure here is my app manifest URL. So what is the manifest URL? I'll show you an example. It's a small JSON file which contains my app URL, my app name, my app icon, all the information that will be displayed in the Tone Keeper or other wallets when user is going to connect their wallet to my app. So I would pick the one random manifest from the internet of Tone Connect demo app, but you can use it for the development purposes. And when you go to production, you just replace the URL name and other information with real images and your app data. Okay, now I'm going to create the header component. And add the Tone Connect button there. For that, I just need to import this button, and that's probably it. I'll add some styles. Okay, let's see. I just need to add the header to my main app component. Okay, now we see this Tone Connect button in the top right corner. And for that, I just needed to install one package and write a couple lines of code, as I said yesterday. Let's see how it works. The Tone Connect package provides me this bundled UI with the button with this model window. I can connect any wallet. I'll choose the browser extension. And now my wallet is connected, and I can send a transaction and communicate with my wallet using the Tone Connect. I'll demonstrate you how to get the connected user address. And by the way, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me during the coding. So this component, I'm going to print some information about the connected wallet to demonstrate you how you can get it in your app. For this, I need to use Tone Wallet hook from the Tone Connect. And it returns me an empty, the null, if wallet isn't connected, and user wallet information otherwise. And let's see what can I print if wallet is connected. First, I will print the wallet name, Tonekeeper in my case, and the user address. Okay, let's add it to the app component and see. Now I see that the connected wallet is Tonekeeper and the address, user address. However, you can see that this address isn't the same with the address on the top right corner. That's because this address is address row format, and in top right corner we have user-friendly format. And to easily convert the addresses, you probably should use ToneCore library. But if you don't have this library in your project, you can pick a function from Tone Connect library to user-friendly address. And it will format the address, and now it's the same. By the way, people often ask how to customize this button. You can change its styles with Tone Connect config. But if you want to provide a completely different button for connection, you can do that. And I'll show you how. Let's disconnect wallet. Wallet is not connected. I'm going to replace this with a custom connect button. Yes, please.
Yes, I have a short question.
Yes.
When you do this Tone Connect, when you connect in your wallet, there is proof generated by backend of Tone Connect.
Okay.
Yeah. And my question was, it's generated and provided only immediately after the login.
Okay. Let me elaborate a bit. It's not exactly that you said. Tone Connect response from the wallet to your dApp usually provide only the address as for the user information, that's only address and the device info and so on. And as for the proof, to get the proof, you have to ask about that during the connection. So you have to pass this special parameter when you connect to the wallet in the code, and ask wallet to ask the user to sign the payload you pass there. And after that, this payload, you can use it to verify that user really has the private key of the address they declared to own.
Yeah, and my question was, it's generated only immediately after the signing up.
Yeah, it is.
It's not available sometime after.
I'm not sure I got the question. You don't have to make 2 requests to get the tone proof. You'll get the address and tone proof in one response. But to get the tone proof, you have to pass the payload to sign in advance. For example, user ID on your backend or something like that. But by the way, you don't have to use tone proof if you don't have some sensible user-related data on your backend side. For example, if you build a StoneFi app or dApp app without any referral programs and so on, you actually don't need to request tone proof. Okay, let's create the custom connect button. For that, I'm going to use ToneConnect model and the open method from the model. And now I can call this method anytime I want to programmatically open the ToneConnect connection model. For example, on click handler of this button or anywhere else. And now you can see I can use both of these buttons to trigger this connection model. And this will work the same. So hope now it's clear. Let's move to the transaction sending. I'm going to create a new component for that. It will be just a button for sending transaction. I'm going to add it to the app. Okay, now I have this button. Let's set some small styles to separate the elements from each other. And now let's create a click handler for the send transaction button. For that, I need to use ToneConnect UI hook. By the way, this is a special React adapter for the ToneConnect library that provides all these hooks used on Wallet, used on Connect UI. And if you don't use React and use Angular or Vue or write your app without any frameworks, you can do exactly the same without that hooks, because ToneConnect UI library provides the same functionality, same functions, but presented without React hooks. But if you use React, hooks is more convenient way to use ToneConnect. So here I need the ToneConnect UI instance. And with this instance, I'm going to call the send transaction. I just need to use this instance and the send transaction method. Okay, let's explore a bit what kind of parameters it takes. It is send transaction request, and here I have valid until. This is a timestamp in Unix epoch seconds. The deadline of my transaction validity, if it's stuck in the network or breach during the way from the app to the wallet will reject the transaction with expired valid until date. Optional networks and from to make sure the transaction will be sent in from the correct address and from the correct chain, but it's optional. And the transaction itself is this messages parameter that is an array of messages that will come from the user wallet contract, and you can specify the receiver transaction receiver address, the amount that the receiver will get in nanoton units, and state init and payload parameters are needed for the case you communicate with smart contracts or want to do a complicated action in blockchain, but not the pure ton sending. And you probably know that there is an array of messages here, and what is maximum length. The common maximum length of this messages is 4 for V4 wallets, and for V5 smart contract wallet is this maximum messages size is 255. So you can send this number of messages in one request from the user wallet. You can determine how many messages the connected wallet can send from the data that your wallet gives you here in the wallet object. There is an information inside its properties about how many messages it can send. So let's provide a simple transaction here. Valid until in minutes, so that's why I need to divide current date by 1,000, because it's in milliseconds to get the seconds, and add 5 minutes, for example, for its lifetime. And now messages array. Let's send a small transfer to the subroutine.ton. It's one of my colleagues from Tonkeeper, actually the TonAPI backend developer. And I'll send him just 1 cent of ton, like 0.01 ton. And to do that, it would be wrong to write something like that, because you need to specify this amount in nanoton units, and 1 ton is 1 and 0.9 of 10 in power of 9 nanoton units, so it will be 7 zeros after the 1. Yes, please.
Why not use testnet?
You can use testnet, but I am going to demonstrate you on mainnet to provide more close example to the reality. But it's up to you.
It means it could be configured which net you're going to use, right?
You can specify what network you want to use, but you can't specify that you want to send a transaction in mainnet if user connected a testnet wallet. So this the network you specified must be the same that user chosen in his wallet, in their wallet.
Okay.
So to send the testnet transaction, you firstly have to choose testnet in your wallet, connect, and
So the code will be the same.
yeah, you don't even need to specify the network here. This parameter is only for like safety purposes. If you want to prevent any mainnet transactions, you can specify it.
Okay.
So let's see. I have this button, and I see the. You can also see it. So 0.01 ton to subbotin.ton, and I can confirm it. Okay. And my transaction sent. Actually, you can configure the this notification and the screens. You see, like, confirms the transaction screen. You can configure all this interface in this send transaction method using the second parameter. Like, you can disable all notifications as well as models and so on. Okay, if it's clear now, let's move to the Ton API and jetons. For that, I'm going to create a new file and initialize Ton API client here. And you can do that. You can visit the Ton API client page on npm and find this detailed README instructions how to install Ton API to your project. I'll copy that. Let's wait a bit. And while waiting, I'm going to copy this to initialize my Ton API client here. Please note that you should specify these two parameters. Base URL for the testnet, you should write testnet.tonapi.io here. And the API key. API key is crucial for the API limits in your app. So if you don't provide any API key, you will be bounded by a really small number of requests. However, you can start with free API key in Ton console. For that, you just need to go to tonconsole.com, create a project for free, and go to Ton API section here. You can find our packages, and this free package is for users who created a free API key. So I'm going to do it for you. And you can set up some restrictions. If you use the API key for your backend service, you can set an unlimited request for it, and for frontend, you can limit it by a user IP. Now I just need to copy this IP key and pass it here. Okay, my Ton API client is ready, but to make it work, I need to provide buffer polyfill plugin. That's because here for Ton API, I needed to add Ton core library, which depends on JavaScript buffer, which is not provided automatically in browser environment, only in Node.js. So if you work with Ton core library, and probably you will work with Ton core library in almost all your projects written in JavaScript, you need to provide buffer plugin. And here, you'll see an error. I'll call something from here, and you'll see what will be if I don't provide this plugin. Okay. I'll make a function get user jetons. And obviously, I need the user address to get their jetons. And here, I just need to call the Ton API function, get account jetons balances. But you might be wondering how to get what function exactly you should call. So it's pretty simple. You can always go to docs.tonconsole.com and find here the detailized documentation of all the functions from Ton API. You can find an overview and description. And for example, for jetons, you can go to Swagger here and try it out just from your web browser here. Yeah, and explore what functions do we have. Okay, and the balances, I need to provide an user address to get balances from. Sorry. Okay, let's use this. Let's create a new component that will display the user balances. And firstly, I need to fetch that balances in useEffect. So when my component is created, I'm going to fetch all the balances. And it's going to be jeton balance array. Jeton balance. Okay. So let's create. Let's get the user address. So we need this address to provide here. Okay, and I will use tone address from ToneConnect UI library to get the address. Now create the use effect. And when my address will change, my effect will be triggered, and I will fetch the jeton balances here. If no address is provided, so it means that user doesn't connect in a wallet, the jetons is going to be undefined. Otherwise, I call my get user jetons function that I written just a couple seconds ago, and pass here an address. And when it's successfully executed, I'm going to set the gathered balances to my state of my component. Okay, it's it, and now I just need to display the data I got. If no jetons fetched, I return null, and otherwise jetons map jeton, and for each jeton I create a small card with its image. Okay, jeton usually has the image. SRC is going to be jeton image. That's probably not really good name. The size is going to be, for example, 30 pixels. Now the symbol of my jeton, its ticker. And the balance that user has of these jetons. Let's add some styles. Okay. And we need to add this component to the app. And we see the white screen and something went wrong. That's because I told you that we need to provide a buffer polyfill plugin, and you can see this error in console, buffer is not defined. The solution of this problem depends on the environment you use and the bundling manager you use, Webpack or Wheat or so on. So you can just Google how to provide buffer for your concrete environment. And in my case, it's the project is built with Wheat. So I need to provide the buffer polyfill for width. And to do that, I need to go to width config and add here node polyfills plugin. So let's restart my application, and now it should work well. Okay, you can see probably missing some UI styles. However, we see all the jetons list. I'm going to briefly add some minor styles to make it looks a bit better. So here, let's create a CSS class for the jeton card. It's going to be display flags. Align items center. Gap for 10 pixels. Border radius. Background color. I'll take this one from the button. Where is it? And border radius for the jeton image. Let's add the margin button. Okay, now it looks good, but you can see that these balances, it seems like that's not really true that I have such a number of USDT and TS on my test wallet. So what is wrong? It's decimals. So each jeton on Ton has its own decimals characteristics that it shows how many signs after the divider, the point, the jeton has. For example, the Ton has decimals equal to 9. It means that 1 Ton unit for blockchain equals to 1.080.1 real Ton units. I mean, 1 Ton for the blockchain is this 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This amount of tons for the user that users see. And for different jetons, this number of zeros depends on the jeton decimals. For example, USDT has, as I remember, 6 decimals. It means that here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3.819 and so on USDT. Almost 4 USDTs I have. And to provide the corresponding balances, appropriate balances for the user, we need to divide this amount in nano units to the 10 in power of that jeton decimals. I'll create a util function for that from decimals. I'm going to pass a jeton balance here and return the converted amount. And to convert it, you can do that different ways, but I'm going to use the big number.js library to complete it as fast as possible now. And you probably definitely shouldn't divide the balance using the using the JavaScript division operators, because is going to lose precision of the numbers. For that, I'm going to use the big number library and the balance to string and divide it to 10 in power of jeton decimals. Okay, apply this function to the balances here, and let's see. Yeah, now it looks like the balances are correct. Yeah, you can compare it, and all the balances are correct. So with just one API request, you can make the similar interface as in the Tonekeeper wallet. Now you see that it's pretty easy to make such jeton list. And as for the jeton sending, I showed you only how to send a simple transaction, but sending a jeton might be a bit tricky because it requires you to format the transactions payload. And to do so, I need to go to Ton blockchain tabs and find a transfer TLB schema. Okay, and now I'm going to explain you how to use the schema. First, it might looks a bit strange if you have never had see the TLB schemas previously, but it's pretty easy to get. First of all, it's operation identifier, and we just need to pack a ton cell that will be my transaction body, contains all this data. This shows me how to pack my data. So the jeton receiver, the amount of jetons I want to send, and other parameters, how should I pack it into the cell. For that, I'm going to create the cell. That's a function from Ton core library, and the same function is presented in all other libraries for Ton for other languages such as Go or Python. So firstly, we need to store this identifier, and it's gonna be it's gonna be 4 bytes. Means 32 bits in cell. I need to store the uint 32. That's my operation identifier, means sending jeton transferring. Next query ID, you can pass here the current date. It's a current transfer identifier that allows the blockchain to distinguish your transfers between each other. Now the amount. The amount I need to pass to my helper function. It's going to be string amount. But here, again, I have to pass the yes, please?
I think it's for the most of developers who do not build on-chain stuff, it's pretty difficult to understand.
Yeah, I'm going to explain all this.
Yeah, maybe there's some SDK that could simplify it.
Yeah, there are definitely a couple of such SDKs, but I not recommend you to use such SDKs because their API program API is not robustly formatted yet. So it changes every month, every period of time. And if you want to work with Ton blockchain, you need to spend a couple of days to learn what is cell in Ton, how to pack your cells, how to call smart contracts, because you never will be able to call smart contracts in Ton if you don't understand what is a cell in Ton. So I recommend you, in this case, learn some examples we provide for you. For example, this one, and in the workshop tutorial I'll share, learn the basics. And after that, you can explore the Ton documentation and learn some theoretical things, what exactly Ton cell is, how to pack Ton cell, what is TLB structures language here. But now I'm going to try to explain you as simple as possible how to pack the jeton transfer body. And you probably later you will see that for other smart contracts, it's gonna be pretty similar. The only differences will be like a couple of parameters in this schema that you can throw away from the cell or add one more parameter. So you can use this example as a scratch for other cells building. Okay, I need to specify the jetons amount I'm going to send. And in this case, I need to specify nano amounts. For 1 ton, it's going to be 1.90 tons. And for my jeton, I need to convert it user-friendly amount to decimals amount. I need jeton decimals and the user amount that user inputted into input or user specified. Okay, create a new big number and multiply it to the 10 in power of decimals. They're similar as we have done previously, but this time we need to multiply instead of divide the amount. Because if user input 1 ton, we need to send to blockchain 1 and 8 zeros, 9 zeros of units.
Sergei,
Да.
are you sure that the date requires 64 bits?
Что?
Data 64 бита?
Yeah, data will fit 44 bits. No, it's not data. It's query ID parameter. Query ID parameter here unit 44. You can use you can use any ID here, but it's recommended to provide a different identifier each time you send a transaction.
Usually implemented by one of its stored and actually utilized in the smart contracts.
No. You probably a bit confused with the Secno, the wallet Secno. It's not wallet Secno.
So
It's not wallet Secno. Yeah, it's query ID. Yeah. Okay, so this is gonna be a formatted amount ready for pass to the cell, and I need to specify the jeton to get its decimals. Так. Okay, jeton decimals is going to be here, and the amount that user specified here. And I need to do the begin value here because the library requires begin for me. Okay, next is a destination. Destination is a receiver address and the store address. Let's specify the receiver address in parameters. I'm going to send it again to the subbotin.ton. The next is response destination. Response destinations, you should specify the sender address. This will be used by the blockchain and by the contracts to return the unused ton that you provide with this message to pay gas fees. So we say to the blockchain, please return unused gas fees to the sender address. And the next custom payload, we can skip it because we don't need any custom payload. It's for complicated smart contract systems. Forward ton amount, you can specify 1 and forget about it. It's 1 nanoton, so a really small amount. I can't explain briefly why, for what purpose it's used. And the forward payload, we also can skip it. This way, okay. Seems to be pretty difficult and tricky, but you'll get it, as I've already said, after a couple of times you try to communicate with Ton contract or read the basics of Ton docs. And now I just need to specify this body as Ton connect transaction payload parameter. Here, I showed you an example how to send a simple transaction, and the same for the jetons. But this time, I need to specify this body as a parameter here. Let me specify the return type. I need to convert this cell to base44 format to pass it through the network layer, because it might be on the signing of this transaction might be even on the other device. Что такое? Не туда. Okay, and now I call it Ton connect UI send transaction with this transaction, and it is going to send the specified jeton to the specified receiver. I will trigger it on click to the jeton card. Okay, amount is going to be 1 jeton, 2 is going to be subbotin.ton. The jeton I'll pass here, and from is my address of the connected wallet. And I need to convert the string to the special address format. So now it's all set to send the jeton. Let's try. Где-то probably missed the semicolon here. Where is it? Okay, let's send, for example, 1 hamster to the subbotin.ton. Something went wrong. I've created the jeton transfer, but I haven't called the Ton connect UI send transaction, actually. And again, as I've done here, I need to use this Ton Connect UI and just call it to send a transaction and pass this transfer object. Now it should work. Um, the one problem here is the receiver address. Currently, receiver address I specified here is again subbotin.ton, but if I want to send a jeton to the subbotin.ton, I need to communicate with special contract called the jeton wallet. I can of the connected wallet, user wallet, and I can get it from the jeton balance structure that I got from TonAPI. Yes. And the amount is gonna be like that. Okay, let's send one hamster. And now we can see that the wallet is going to send one hamster. Yeah, it was pretty difficult for the first time, but in Ton blockchain, communicating with smart contracts might be pretty tricky. And probably that's it. Now we can see that Subbotin is going to receive one hamster combat from me. And previously he successfully received 1 cent of Ton. Yeah. So I think that's it for today, because it was pretty difficult and mind-blowing for somebody to how to build this body. But we have the detailed guide for newbies here. I'll show you. Make a dApp. Yes, and you can explore this guide yourself, how to add Ton Connect, how to integrate, how to provide buffer polyfill, and almost all the things we've done today. And also this GitHub link on the top. You can explore the full example of the same dApp here and use it as a first scratch for your projects. The Ton API, the Ton Connect are already set up here, so you don't need to spend your time installing NPM dependencies, providing buffers, and so on. Yeah, I think that's it for the live coding. Thank you. If any questions, please ask. I'm going to answer. Yes, please.
You have made a standard transaction of like 5 cent equivalent, 0.01 ton, which is like 5 cent equivalent. And how is the commission being calculated?
Okay. I'm showing you this tree, and this probably will be the answer. Yes, you're absolutely right. You can see I attached 5 ton cents here, and this transfer, that's my transaction that I sent, and the transaction goes to the Jeton wallet with all this balance, and this balance actually needed to cover the transfer fees for all these messages, because the Jeton transfer is complicated smart contract operation that requires some native Ton balance attached for the message to cover the fees. But in the end, I want to get my fees back. That's because I specified the from address, so it's equals to the connected wallet address here, and you can see that 3 ton cents was successfully sent to the sender address A. So I, as a sender, I attached 5 ton cents. The blockchain uses 1 cent and 5 decimal cents part to cover the basics fees. And after that, I got the excess, the rest of unused fees back to my address. And the good question is how to determine what amount is enough to attach here. And unfortunately, it depends on the Ton blockchain configuration, and it can change with validators voting. Currently, you can attach 5 Ton cents, and it's going to be enough. If you want to make sure that your transfer will be successfully executed in future 10 years, for example, you don't want to change anything in your backend script for some bots, you can attach, I don't know, you can attach a half a ton. It definitely will be enough, and you will get the excess, the change back. But it might be inconvenient for your users if you make a wallet and user want to send a transfer. They don't expect to attach $3 in Ton equivalent to send the hamster combat token. Yeah, that's because for the user interfaces, it will be better to attach 5 Ton cents, not to make user stress about paying more. Although he anyway will get the change in excess in the end.
But I actually meant the transaction before, because when you sent the transaction before, I saw that there was a commission like 0.01 ton commission or something.
Do you mean the direct on transfer transaction?
Maybe emulation.
Okay. This transaction that I opened?
Yes.
Okay. When you send the transaction, you specify the amount that this receiver is going to receive. But the transfer fees and the wallet execution fees, because the wallet is a smart contract as well, is paid separately. So you probably know about this transaction sending modes. They pay gas separately, ignore errors, and the clients, TonKeeper client, MyTon wallet client, and others. When you ask them to send the TonConnect transaction, they use sending mode equals to 3, means pay gas separately and ignore any errors during the action phase. So this amount that you have specified here, it's amount that receiver is going to receive, and the fees will be paid separately. It won't be charged from that amount.
Okay, but I mean, if I, for example, send you 2 ton coins, how much?
How much the transaction fee will be?
Yes, how should I calculate?
You need to programmatically calculate the transaction fee. Okay, you can call the Ton API emulate method. Now I got your question. It's pretty easy. I can write this method right now.
Yeah, and one important thing to mention is static, regardless of the amount you send. So it doesn't matter whether you send 1 cent or 1,000 ton.
Yes, but
Emulate message to wallet. Yeah, and here you have to attach the message that wallet will receive. But unfortunately, I can't attach message because this message, it's not a structure the wallet will send to the blockchain. As you know, the wallet will pack the cell, external message cell that's going to that is going to go to the wallet contract address. So you have to pack this data again into the cell, and after that sign this cell. Actually, you can sign it with an empty buffer as a private key. If you don't know the user private key, you can use empty buffer with 44 zeros and sign the transaction with this private key. And Ton API will skip private key checks on the wallet contract during the calculation. So you can pass the encoded cell here, and in the return type, in the result, message consequence, you can check the event.extra. Event.extra is going to be the total fees the user will pay for your message consequences. Hope now it's clear. You can check the ToneKeeper web repository or ToneKeeper mobile repository if you need some insights how to pack this the message. You have to pass here as parameter if you have only the ToneConnect message that we packed previously, like that. If you have like that, how to pack the message, you need to pass to Tone API. Yeah. Another questions, guys? Okay, thank you. You remember that you can follow the QR code that Rostislav shared and check docs.toneconsole.com to find the step-by-step guide for the dApps. Thanks for your attention. See you.